The 11th General Council of the Church, the Third Council of the Lateran, held in 1179 AD. Pope Innocent II, the leader of the Second Lateran Council, died in 1143 AD. From this date to the summoning of the Third Council of the Lateran, there were 7 popes and 3 anti-popes. During these 40 years that separated the two councils, the interference of the emperors in the affairs of the church gradually increased. Ambitious, warlike, and crafty emperors tried to master the whole of Italy, just as they had done in Germany. Unfortunately, the papacy of some weak popes paved way for this domination. The only hope for the popes was the Lombards of northern Italy, especially the city of Milan, who had enough strength to face the foe. However, Emperor Frederick invaded Italy in the fall of 1158 AD, and not even the militant Lombards of Milan could stop him. Pope Adrian IV, when on a mission of mediation for the Lombards, died the following year. The cardinals immediately met at Rome to elect a successor to Adrian. Roland Cardinal Bandardelli received 22 votes, and his opponent had only 4 votes. Hence, Roland was elected and he took the name Alexander III. The emperor did not like the election of Alexander, and within 3 hours he ordered his cardinals to meet and elect a new pope. The cardinals elected Victor IV. Both were consecrated the next day. At this calamity, Frederick suggested a congress of bishops before whom the rival pope could present their case, and a blunt refusal came from Alexander, while Victor accepted the proposal. However, no synod was held, and the division in the Roman See continued like that for 18 years. When Victor died, Paschal III died, and after him Callistus II. All of them were anti-popes, and they ruled from Rome. Alexander could not establish himself in Rome, so he wandered through France, Spain, and Italy, always calling synods. Most of these years he lived in France or in South Italy under the protection of the King of Sicily. At Rome, the anti-pope was the Lord, and in St. Peter's he crowned Frederick and his wife as emperor and empress in 1167 AD. During this sacrilegious rite, a plague devastated the emperor's army, which encamped outside the walls of Rome. Soldiers and nobles in their thousands died like flies. There was an uprising by the Romans against the emperor, and to save his life from the mob, Frederick disguised himself and escaped to Lombardy, where he was defeated in the Battle of Legano in 1176 AD. For Frederick, Legano was the end. Frederick asked for peace from Pope Alexander, but the Pope stood firm. A peace congress met at Venice in 1177 AD to consider the case of the emperor. Frederick personally appeared before the congress and made his submission to Pope Alexander. Triumphantly, Alexander entered Rome. The anti-pope also submitted to Alexander, and Alexander received him with grace and appointed him governor of a province in northern Italy. Now that peace was established, Pope Alexander knew that he could take effective steps to protect elections of future popes, so he decided to call a general council to make permanent laws concerning the elections of popes. The laws that Alexander and the 11th General Council of the Church enacted are the same today concerning papal elections. The council opened on the 5th of March 1179 AD at the Lateran Basilica. It was the third of the such to meet at the Lateran. The Pope himself presided, seated on an elevated throne, surrounded by his cardinals, prefects, senators, and consuls of Rome. There were 302 bishops and an equal number of abbots and superiors of religious orders. Altogether, over 1,000 men had gathered in the opening day of the council. Nectarius, the abbot, represented the Greeks. The East was represented by the bishops of Tyre and Caesarea. Prior Peter, the guardian of the Holy Sepulchre, was also present. The Bishop of Bethlehem came to represent the Bishop of Jerusalem. Spain sent 19 bishops. Ireland sent 6. Scotland sent 1, England sent 7, France sent 59, Germany 17, Denmark and Hungary sent 1 each. On the first day, the council, all bishops and abbots who stood with the anti-popes were given pardon without any condition. When pardon was announced by Pope Alexander, he was given an ovation by all who were present. On the same day, he consecrated 2 bishops for England and 2 for Scotland. The next day, the council took up the case of Waldensianism heresy. It was condemned and the heretics were given time to repent and return to the true fold. The next few days, 17 disciplinary matters were enacted in forms of canons, 4 of which are 1. Only cardinals have the right to elect a pope and the election should be with 2/3 majority. 2. If any candidate accepts the election as pope with less than the 2/3 majority, he and his partisans must be excommunicated. 3. No one should be ordained a bishop before he is 30 years old. And the last one, no priest is to be appointed pastor who has not reached the age of 25. With the passing of these 17 canons, the council came to a close in the month of May 1179 AD.